All right, we're back. We are back, and like I said, we are going to be talking about Kanye West and Ty Dolla Sign, and they're much talked about, much discussed, much anticipated new album follow up to Vultures One, Vultures Two. Not a very creative name, but it is what it is. I have not heard anything from this album. I have heard people's opinions about it, and it's been very divisive, so to say. Like it's been negative. There have been some positive, been just very mixed across the board, which is very much in line with Kanye West and where he is these days in general. Like he is a very polarizing figure, so I'm not very surprised to see that his latest album is also very polarizing. I don't really have any expectations or high expectations or like any expectations in general about what this album is going to do. I thought the first one was fine. I thought it had some high moments. I thought lyrically it was the worst she's ever been. Production wise, I think that there were definitely some gems in there, and like I feel like this is going to be just a B-side version of that first project, but we'll see. Not sure what to expect, but I'm down always to give it a listen, even though I don't agree with most of the things that Kanye West is doing these days. But musically, we'll see if he still got it. Let's go to track number 1, Slide. I'm gonna be honest, like one aspect of this whole collaboration between Kanye West and Ty Dolla Sign that is heavily been overlooked is that Ty Dolla Sign has been the best part of this project. Like he is lyrically on another level compared to Ye, and like he has delivered some of his best work in quite some time. But honestly, it's been a little bit well, not even a little bit. It's been completely overshadowed and overlooked because of the circus that is Kanye West. But like Ty Dolla Sign has been doing his thing, and like this intro, the way he just dropped into this track and just went crazy on it, like does not get talked enough about like how gifted he is as an artist. And like unfortunately I think it's going to be overlooked once again, but like Ty Dolla Sign has been doing his part more than his part and been carrying the projects. He carried on Vultures One, and like if he's coming like this again, his name needs to be more in the conversation because this is fire. Now, production sounds nuts. Production sounds nuts. But I don't know if this is a choice, but I can't help but feel like it feels a bit unmixed and a bit unfinished. Like I don't know if this is a conscious choice because he has done that on projects before. We look at Yeezy, definitely left a little bit more raw, a little bit more unmixed, a little more just straight up out there. But like this feels a little bit unfinished simply because I feel like those drums were supposed to hit so much harder than they are, and I feel like if they were tweaked just a bit and like really elevated by say like Mike Dean, let's bring him back, I feel like this shit would hit so much harder. And it's already a very hard song, but like I feel like these drums were mixed a little bit better, this shit would hit so much harder. I mean, again, the production that he has, that he's capable of putting out and like capable of getting, like it's just next level. Like his production is always so fire. Like I just honestly think if this was mixed a little bit better, the drums were tweaked, I feel like this would hit 10 times harder than it already does. And it hits incredibly hard as it is. But like that little like synth organ thing going on back there, that seems to be kind of like a staple of like old school Universal horror movies. Fire. Absolutely fire. Let's go to the next track. Time Moving Slow. I'm sorry, but again, still feels unmixed. Feels like it needs to be tweaked. Levels are off, but there's something there. But it's not Kanye, because Kanye, again, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard Kanye worse lyrically than I have over these past two projects. And like, he needs his writing team back, because him on his own, it just ain't hitting like it used to. Again, there's something there. There's definitely something there with the production, but it feels like it's missing something. Like, I don't know if it's the mixing. I don't know if there's more elements that need to be added. I don't know if it's like the levels, but there's something missing. And like, there's something there, but there's also something missing. And then also, Kanye is absolutely horrible lyrically right now. Horrible. Let's go to track number 3, Field Trip. Is that was Ty Sign for sure, but it definitely sounded like Travis Scott almost. Who else was on there? I think there's Playboy Cardi. I heard like this definitely feels like a kind of Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi type of production and song, which obviously he's a major inspiration for those two. But now, like I mentioned on the first album when I reacted to, it definitely feels like he's almost starting to bite from those same artists that he used to influence. Like he isn't really necessarily pushing things as far as he used to, and it feels like people have started to catch up to him, at least sound and sonically. But again, I'm not surprised to see it happen, because I mean, how long can you stay at that pace that he was on? But like, this still feels a bit unmixed, not gonna lie. Is that Kodak? Sounds like Kodak Black. It sounds like Kodak Black. It's very hard to tell if this is Kodak or exactly who this is, because the mixing is so bad. Like the drums and the songs are just washing out the vocals here, and like it's very hard to tell exactly who or what is being said. That's got to be Kodak. Again, like it's just like there's something there. Like that could be a massive track, like honestly, but like the mixing is so bad here. You're washing out vocals, like completely washing out vocals. Nothing seems like leveled or balanced. Like things sound unfinished. It's kind of annoying, quite honestly. Like I get the raw kind of feel and aesthetic that he's always kind of put out, especially after like Easy. It's just like, this could have done so much better. This could have been done so much better. And like, I feel like if he had let this cook a little bit longer and had somebody to come in and really help him engineer and finish this off, like, I just feel like you're missing the potential of what a song like this could have been. Absolutely washed out vocals. Kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. Let's go to track number 4, Fried. I mean, it feels like a direct sequel continuation of what he was doing on Carnival. I don't know if he's still using those in Inter Milan Ultras like he did on the chorus of Carnival, but like that chorus vocalization, chanting, almost like rhythmic hypnotic chanting is fire. Like again, I would use it again because that was a fire addition to his song, and like I'm not surprised to him kind of go down that right again. Let's see if it's yeah, that's what I thought. And it definitely sounds like he used them again. And it feels like it, because that was such a fire like chant that really got the energy going on Carnival. And it's continued to do that here on Fried. Fire. Fire. Fire song. Fire production. Very smart move to go back into that well and use the Ultra chant again, because they did so much for that Carnival song, and like the energy that they bring is second to none, and like they bring it once again on Fried. I just wish again that the vocals were mixed better. It was very hard to hear anything that they were saying, and it was getting completely washed out. I just feel like that's going to be a continuing trend of this album, is that the mix, which also was in a lot of points of the first album, was like, why is the mix so off and so bad? Like, why you're at this incredibly high level of career and music wise that you couldn't get somebody come in and like really fix the mix on this? Like it's just feels like missed opportunities. Let's go to track number 6, Promotion. I mean, side note, but like, whatever happened to the gospel-y, I'm no longer rapping, every verse needs to be clean, Kanye West? Like, I feel like he's just fully given up on that. And obviously he's bleeping out all the curse words here, but it makes it just stand out even more than like if he had just given clean verses. Like, it was always a wild thing that he was saying, like, I'm just gonna go, I just need to be clean, everything needs to be like on up and up when it comes to lyrics. And like, that lasted for all of 2 seconds, and then he went to, we're gonna be doing porn, to like, now we'll just bleep out the words. Like, it's just been a wild ride with this guy. I mean, it's a crazy thing to say, but something I never would have said early on in his career or earlier projects. But the best thing about these Kanye West songs is everybody else on the Kanye West songs. Like, if this was just a Future and Ty Dolla Sign song, like, this would be even more fire, quite honestly. Like, it's almost like he wasn't needed on here, and it's kind of disappointing to be at this point in his career. But like, he's not really adding a lot lyrically or musically to the songs these days, and it's kind of sad, quite honestly. Like, to get carried by Future and Ty Dolla song, it's kind of sad at this point. You are Kanye West, you are like this elite guy, and like, he's just not himself for these days, and he's just not up to par, quite honestly. Let's go track number 7, 530. This is the best he's been so far on a song on this album lyrically. Like, this is kind of when he's on his back, when he's talking about relationships and women and dealing with the ups and downs that come with that. And then on top of that, when you get like this crazy, almost soulful vocal sampling that he's very much known for, and you get kind of peak Kanye. Like, this is the Kanye that I've kind of known and love and come to like appreciate so much. And like, we're getting a little hint of that here, you know, and I definitely appreciate it. That last text, courtesy of Patron, I ain't gonna lie, that's a little bar right there, and that's honestly probably the truth, because I mean, as we've seen and come to witness, Kanye off the liquor is a next level. He's on something else. He'd be on demon time. Like, so that is a funny bar. Very self-aware, which he has not necessarily been much these days, but like, that is very much a Kanye bar. And like I said, this is the most Kanye I've heard on this project so far, and I'm digging it. All right, what the did he just say there? Like, I'm sorry, like, that sounded like mushmouth straight right there. Like, that sounded like, what's an old boy from Wild Thornsberry? That's exactly what he was delivering. Like, I did not catch a single bar in that run that he just gave. I'm assuming that's still Kanye. Like, that's kind of been my problem. Like, he started out so strong. I thought that we were going to continue to get like the old Kanye a little bit back here, and then he does like this straight up mumble mush mouth run. Like, what is that? Like, what is that? How'd that make the final cut? Like, it sounds like what somebody would do when they're going in the booth and they're trying to figure out their cadence, and they kind of just hum along and mumble some stuff here and there to get their flow, their cadence, and everything right. Instead of like actually going back in and laying some bars, he kept that practice run in. Like, and it's like, why? Like, what? This man is aggravating. This man is aggravating. Started out so strong, like the classic Kanye that you would know to love, and like, maybe we're getting like some seriousness, some actually self-awareness, some introspective bars, like some lyricism to a degree, and then we get two strictly, I can't argue otherwise, unfinished verses. Straight up unfinished verses. And like, he cares so little that he put this out. Like, He has to be trolling at this point because that shit's just unacceptable for somebody on his level to put out those verses. It's ridiculous. Let's go to track number 8, Dead. Pisses me off and then comes with crazy drums like this. Like, oh, it's such an up and down, but like these drums are nuts. Nuts. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This production is this might be the hardest song of this whole tape. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Track halfway through, but to this point, this is the hardest song I've heard. And like the production on this, the drums on this, the drums on here are absolutely nasty. And honestly, this feels like the most mixed and finished song that I've heard so far on this project. And like this right here, sheesh.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Beat was filthy. Production was absolutely nasty. Future on there was crazy. Dirk, what it sounded like, I think that was Dirk, went brazy on there. Like, this whole track is nuts. Like, honestly, one of my favorite songs I've heard so far on this entire project. And that shit knocked. That shit knocked. I ain't gonna lie. Those drums, that drum work on there, filthy. Almost sound like I got Mike Dean back for a minute there. Let's go to track number 9, Forever Rolling. Okay. All right. Little baby popping in here. Like, I kind of like that he does not list out all his features on all these songs. So you get like this little surprise little insert when you hear their voice drop in. Like, little baby, nice little touch to this. Has not quite been on the crazy run that he was probably like a year ago, but like still dope little addition. So let's hear what you guys say. Definitely a more kind of stripped down, laid back kind of soundscape there. Big synths going on, but like not overpowering, and really let Baby and like others do their thing on here. Definitely sounded much better mixed than some of the earlier stuff that we were hearing on here. And honestly, it sounds and is probably a Donda leftover or throwaway, because it definitely feels like it came from that era of Kanye, sound wise and production wise, and it just feels much more finished than everything else. And like, it's honestly one of the better Little Baby verses that we've gotten in quite some time. But like, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this in fact was a leftover from the Donda production time. Let's go track number 10, The Bomb, or just Bomb. Hold on. Is that Northwest? It sounds like Northwest. That might be Northwest. Look, I'm not one to shit on a child, but I'm also not one to not shit on a child. And like, that was absolutely don't really have words for like how bad that was. I get it. It's your daughter, and like, probably had a great time making this song, and watching her create and be creative and like letting her get on the track is always dope. And like, it's dope, and she actually kind of did her thing on that first song on Vultures. But like, this ain't it, dog. Like, this
it's not a banger, my guy.
Definitely not. Like, lyrically, it's just like, obviously, what are we talking about? But like, well, it's just like, kind of at a loss for words here. Like, if this was, let's say, like a minute 15 interlude, I probably wouldn't feel that bad about it, because beat wise, it definitely feels like something aimed at the younger generation, especially like New York. Like, you can get started to this, you know, you can have a dance, you can have a little fun little TikTok song to it, but like a whole 2 minute and 30 seconds of this it felt like an eternity. And like, this ain't it, dog. Like, if anything, this just hopefully reinforces the fact that Northwest should not put out an album. If you did not know, she has announced that she's dropping a debut album called Elementary School Dropout. And please, I'm just like hoping that that just never ever comes out or sees the light of day, because if this is just 2 minutes to 30 minutes, like imagine a whole album. Like, come on, let's just not go there. Oh, that's Larry. Next track, let's go to River. All right, it took me a second, but like, is that Young Thug? That definitely sounds like Young Thug. Like, I mean, saying featuring Young Thug, which is kind of dope because I haven't heard, obviously, nobody's heard Young Thug in quite a while, but like, this is either before he went in, because I doubt that he did this over the phone, but like, it's kind of a dope little thing to hear Young Thug on a song again. It's been quite a while. Yeah, it is. Free Larry Hoover, for Young Thug. All right, so aside from the fact that it was dope to see Young Thug pop up on a song again, like a mainstream kind of album, and get kind of his voice and recognition out there once again, because it's been so long that he's going through this trial. Aside from that, it's hard to deny that this song is very... It just ain't it. Like, it's kind of boring. Like, and it's hard to deny that this feels like a Donda throwaway once again. Like, a lot of these tracks so far in this latter half feel like Donda throwaways. And like, honestly, if I had never heard this, I would have been fine. Like, it's just boring, slow, uninspired. Let's go track number 12, Forever.
This is not a banger. This is not a banger. And I know bangers. I know bangers.
Let's go track number 13, Husband.
Move this man.
Aside from the fact that singing has never, ever, ever been a strong point of Kanye West, this song is just terrible. Like, it's just not good. Production feels unfinished. Lyrics just childish and corny. And like, overall, like, this feels like a demo if more than anything. Like, this does not feel like a finished product. And again, singing has never been a strong point of his, but like, this is bad. This is just undeniably bad. Let's go to track number 14, Lifestyle. I mean, if there's one high point of this last half of this album, which has been pretty disappointing, it is Lil Wayne. It is too niche, and like, he really kind of delivered here. He has been on a tear over this past year on verses and guest features, and like kind of getting back into form, into prime tip-top shape as one of the best rappers to have ever touched the mic. And like, this is definitely a high point for me. And like, if he just gave him all the verses on the song, I wouldn't be mad at that. I take that back. Ty Dolla Sign is also a very worthy addition to this track, and like, honestly, been kind of missing from these last few tracks and like a good portion of this album. Although it says Kanye and Ty Dolla Sign, I feel like this album as a whole could have used a lot more of his imprint on this music and the songs and just features in general. And like, he's always a nice addition. Again, kind of dull, kind of interesting, but kind of dull at the same time. Obviously, having Lil Wayne on here is a nice little touch. I think he added a lot for this song. Ty Dolla Sign did his thing as well, but production-wise, it was a bit boring, a bit repetitive, and a bit dull. I feel like he could have added maybe a few more elements in here to pick things up, but overall, it was just like, it was okay. Nothing crazy. It was okay. Go track number 15, Sky City. I mean, it was kind of a dope flip. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of wondering where that sampling or like kind of guitar strumming kind of felt like, and it felt like Old Child from the Five Stair Steps, or famously sampled by Tupac Shakur and Keep Your Head Up. And it's a dope little flip. Like, and Ty Dolla Sign once again carried that whole first half of this. And like the fact that he's not more on a lot of these songs is kind of disappointing, because I think that he's really brought his A game to these projects and delivered on every single chance he's gotten. And like, this was kind of fire. My people still dying over hand gestures. Sheesh. Bars. Like, if you don't know, Hi the Prince is a barologist, like straight bars. Like, he's nasty with it. And it's unfortunate that he never really got the full recognition and praise and mainstream appeal for his solo projects, because he's had some very, very dope projects. It just had never quite panned out to the degree that you would think, for being on some of Kanye's biggest songs over the past decade or so, and like being a big reason behind Kanye's pen ever since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And like, it's dope to see that he's still getting this connection with Ye, and that he put him on a song and like is still out there being able to spit and deliver bars at the degree that he can. Who is that on the verse, on the chorus? It sounds like Willow almost. Like, who is that? No, that's 070 Shake. Okay. I didn't really think that they still had a connection, or that she was still like effing with Ye like that, but that's cool to see. Because I think it's kind of disappointing the way that straight up fumbled her and her career. But yeah, neither here nor there. Nah, hold on. I did not hear what I think I just heard, did I? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Yeah, if you didn't hear what I just heard, there was a straight up smoke alarm beep going on in the background of this song. Like, if there's any sign that he did not finish this album or finish any of the songs or even give an F, that is one of them. Like, having the smoke alarm beep in the background is hysterical. And like, the fact that he left that in, did not catch that, is crazy to me. Like, we already had that stereotype that we never change our smoke detectors and it's beeping, but like, we'll never beat these allegations. Like, that's crazy to have in a song. That's wild. More unfinished verses, more unfinished mixing, more unfinished just like production. Just like, it was a great song. Honestly, like, I think this could have had so much potential. Like, and honestly, Kanye West is the weakest part of this song once again. And like, Ty Dolla Sign carried, 070 did her thing, Sci-Hi did his thing. Like, but Kanye once again was almost a distraction and like took away from the song, which is unfortunate to say, but that's kind of like the point he is in his music and his career. But like, the fact that he had a smoke alarm beep still on this track is a perfect sign and epitome and like picture of where he is at in his career, because that is just sad. Let's go to this last track. Let's go to My Soul. Womp womp. Bars, absolutely terrible. I mean, again, production wise, there's something there. It's interesting. I love the driving beats. I love the drums. Like, I love everything that he's kind of laying out there. I don't know where he's going to go with the second half. It sounds like he's going to switch it up, but production wise, there's definitely something there. But once again, like, lyrically, it just like, he's just so bad. He's such a bad space right now when it comes to songwriting. And like, he does not have anything interesting really to add or to say. And I mean, it shows. It shows in the zeitgeist. Like, people don't really have anything to say about his music because he's not saying anything really of worth. And like, that was just an absolutely terrible run of lyricism right there. And like, he's honestly taking away from some of these songs for me. Again, sounds quite honestly like a Donda era throwaway that probably never should have seen the light of day. There was something there, like there is something there. There's a little bit of spark, but it's missing something, which is pretty much my feeling for the entirety of this project. Like the first half opened up with some potential, and there's some great production that was kind of hampered by poor mixing and just straight up unfinished feelings. And like honestly, there's a lot of unfinished verses, there's some bad mixing, some bad vocal mixing, and like it just the levels weren't necessarily right that they needed to be in terms of high level music, especially coming from somebody like Kanye West. It's kind of disappointing to see at this point that he's at in his career, because like no matter how big of a fan, there's no denying that this is the worst he's ever been musically. He has nothing to offer when it comes to lyricism or songwriting. His production, which should still be kind of like his ace in the hole, is suffering strictly because he's not finishing things. He's not mixing things properly. He's obviously not getting the contribution help that he should, like he used to back in the day. And like, it's just sad. It's just sad. When you're the worst part of your own project, it's sad, especially considering that you were this iconic figure in music, which a lot of people consider you to be a genius, and which I could even get behind. But it's very clear that you are not at your best right now, and like it's very much showing in the music. And I don't think this is going to do much for his legacy at all. It's only going to hurt it. And I just don't see this gaining any real traction. Like there are some moments here, like Dead is a crazy song. Some Fried has some crazy production. Like there's definitely moments in here that could have led to something great, but like he is getting in his own way, whether it's the apathetic songwriting and lyricism, the straight up unfinished verses, the straight up unfinished mixes, just put all together. It's very hard to overcome that and be like, this is a project worthy of a Kanye West level artist. And it's just not, and it's just sad to see at this point that we're in. And like, honestly, he needs to take a break. He needs to step away from music, and then like he needs to figure things out. And hopefully he gets some of those camp back, because this is unequivocally the worst music that he's put out in his career.